Okay, so I have failed the toughness check. Last time I believe I passed I think I failed the strength check and I failed the toughness check, but then I got like the speed or like the fucking this reflex check or something, and that's how I barely managed to keep up with him. Used my left hand to parry his fist, and then I quickly punch him in the gut before he gets the chance to launch a second attack. The strength of my blow completely took away the man's breath and sent him to his knees. After about 10 seconds of staring blankly ahead of him, gasping for air, the bulky man finally recovers, and then he gets back up on his feet. For another few seconds, the man simply stands there, looks at me in pure astonishment without saying anything. Well, I say, aren't you going to attack me again? Maybe I was wrong about you, Stillwater, the bulky man says in a tone suggesting that he's still trying to get over the shock of what he just witnessed, and puts both his hands on my shoulder and looks at me with the hope of a man who had not dared to hope any longer. Maybe you were right, he says. Maybe we can still win this, as long as we work together. Well, we are part of the same team. It doesn't really matter. I don't care about, you know, making him apologize and all that. That we are, the man says with a wide grin on his face as he takes his hand off me and gives me one long look full of respect. With these last few words, the bulky man turns away from me and he heads towards the cell. Premonition check level 2 successful. This is one of the things that I missed out on last time as far as I can remember. Yeah, it's Barry, I say. Barry, the man says, a little surprised. That's an unusual name for a mage, so I've been told. Forgive me, I didn't mean to sound rude. Where exactly do I get the premonition? You never made the time to follow tradition, blah blah blah. Is something wrong? Wilhelm asked. Yeah. As I start to shake the man's hand, I suddenly get a vision of him. Yeah, this is the premonition we get, that he stabs us, which he does, which we did avoid last time because he's been asked by the noble or whatnot. I suddenly get a vision of him stabbing me in the back with the origin hilted dagger in the middle of an arena. Is something wrong? Wilhelm asks me as he sees expression on my face. No, everything's fine, I tell him as I quickly regain my composure. Listen, Wilhelm says, I know that you haven't really gotten the best of receptions here in our division, but I personally think that there's nothing wrong than having a fight with a teammate before a life-threatening event such as this. I just want to let you know that I'm on your side. Act casually without letting him know that I'm on to him. Threaten him in order to make sure that he is too scared to stab me in the back. So we're supposed to threaten him in this time, because if we threaten him now, he will not backstab us in chapter 4. It's really good to know that I have a friend who won't stab me in the back with the orange hilted dagger in the middle of an arena event, I say in a casual tone. That is very menacing, honestly. Yes, it's really, the man starts to say, but he stops suddenly. What? He asked me confused after a few seconds. You know, I'm talking about those orange hilted enchanted daggers that are being used for trained assassins to conceal the presence. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Wilhelm, since you're not an assassin? Oh, of course not, Wilhelm says. It's a good thing that you're not an assassin sent to kill me, Wilhelm, I tell him as I try to mimic Aiden's casual bloodthirsty demeanor. I would have hated to have murdered you so soon after we become friends. Yes, Wilhelm says. The trickle of sweat runs down his forehead. I think I'm going to sleep now. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, I tell him as I watch him leave smiling politely. See, I can pull off Aiden's smile too, you two-faced bastard. That is hilarious. After Wilhelm closes his door, the girl with the silver hair watches me for another few seconds, and then she goes. Then she also goes inside her room, shutting the door behind her. So that there's no longer a use and linger. Yeah. This is the same. This is the part where Layla asks us if we could talk inside her cell. If you refuse her, which I did, basically she tries to like give out the information that you're not a Stillwater, and so you basically. You're like, yeah, let's go inside. But yeah, so I'm just gonna accept her this time, except to go inside her cell. Alright, let's go, I say. Layla nods and she opens the door to her cell. As both enter her room, I notice the fact that Wilhelm is watching us attentively. There's a bit of disappointment on his face when he saw that I accepted the girl's request so easily. It is only after Layla locks the door that I suddenly start to feel a sense of danger, and I jump back from her, watching her carefully. What are you doing? Layla writes, looking at me confused. I'm trying to tell if this is a trap or not, I tell her. Trap? Layla writes with a somewhat shocked expression on her face. For what purpose? Aren't you aware that killing or critically injuring a member of your own division is against the rule? Not really, I tell her. Nobody bothered to tell me the rules of the arena before coming here. But it's one of the standard rules of all arenas over right here, Layla writes. I'm not from around here, remember? Yeah, this is basically the same after that. This is the time where Layla is confronting us and saying that if you can't even tell the difference between our like stat devices, that the one that her father gave her and the one that I bought from a shop or something, It's like, how do you know it works better for Lasethi? And then she's like, maybe don't know it works better for Lasethi, and we just came here and we're planning to act like a Stillwater, and I'm gonna choose the exact same option that I chose back then. Actually, to be honest, before coming here, I didn't even know I was a Lasethi. You mean you thought you were human? Layla writes. Yeah, that's what I meant. I say. Layla starts to giggle silently while covering her mouth with her hands. Can you hear her giggle? Can mute people giggle? I can't believe how crazy you are, Layla writes. No one in their right mind would even think of trying to bluff their way through a tournament like this. Now understand why you seem so calm, even after you've heard that the arena's owner is preparing for us. This is just another regular day for you, isn't it? Well, I don't know if I'd go as far as to call it a regular day. I say this is only the third time I've been thrown into a prison since I came to Barathia. There's still room for improvement. This is the same shit after that. Again, this choice here, I will choose exactly what I chose before. This is an important choice again. Refuse Lasethi's offer. I will say, do the exact same thing. No thanks, I say. I like to keep things challenging. There's a brief pause, during which none of us say anything. Is this your final answer? Lasethi asks me. Sure, I say. Lasethi doesn't say anything for a few seconds. Then he answers me in the same calm manner as before. Very well, then Lasethi says. In that case, I look forward to seeing your performance in the arena. I doubt that we'll be seeing each other again. Farewell, fellow Lasethi. With these last words, Lasethi makes his departure. I wait for a minute to make sure that he's gone for good. I'll get back to reading my notebook. Yeah, this is pretty much the same. This is again the same. I did have hearing stats in my playthrough as well, so I did hear that there are like minotaurs and like fuck all creatures downstairs that will be coming to fucking kill us and whatnot. So this is the same. There's nothing new here, so I'm not gonna read it. This is Layla coming to our door and asking us to open the door, but it's funny because last time I went, oh, who is that? I won't open the door until I get an answer, which is it's Layla, and she can't really speak, so there's no way she could actually like say out loud that it's her, which is hilarious. I think she went back to her room when it did not open or something like that. I think so at least, but I'm gonna open the door. Okay, I'll be right there, I say as I put my notebook down, get up from the bed. When I open the door, I'm surprised to see that my mysterious visitor was in fact Layla. Oh, it's you, I say. Layla didn't say anything, but I see her blue writing forming in front of her as usual. Can you come with me? Layla writes. There's something I need to show you. Sure, I say. Let me just lock the door. I'm done locking the door behind me. I follow Layla and we head towards our cell. Once we're both inside her room, she locks the door. She points towards the wall behind her bed. Her blue writing appears in front of her once again. Please place your hand on the wall. Tell me if you feel anything special. I place my hand on the wall, like she says, but I don't feel anything. Could you give me some sort of hint? I say. What am I supposed to be looking for? Don't try to look, Layla says. You need to feel it. Try concentrating your magical sense on your hand as you are touching the wall, and you will understand what I mean. I do what Layla says, suddenly realize that the wall is somehow resonating perfectly in my magical aura that is reacting directly to my touch. This is the trap that we will fall down from under into the watery fucking area, whatever. This is a non-matter choice. We can swim down the lake and see if we can find a way to start the elevator. We won't find anything. I did this last time as well, so we will just go to the fire to start a fire, because there's no point in getting more wet than we already are, because there's nothing there, and this is a non-matter choice as well. Ignore the elevator and let's go. Let's head to the cabin first, I say. Maybe we'll find something, some flint or something to start a fire with. This is the same shit. I don't remember if I told her about Kate or not, so I will be reading this. Tell Layla about Kate. So we tell her about Kate. I just realized I never told you why I knew about the Beacon of Hope, I say. Do you remember meeting a girl named Kate when you were in the orphanage? Layla nods. I remember her, Layla writes. She was always used to hang out with the Elementalist siblings that later became part of the Lasethi's elite task force. I heard that she was sent off to die in a distant jungle along with all the other orphans after the beacon got shut down. Well, your information isn't wrong, but I think it might have led you to some wrong conclusion. I tell her, Kate is not dead, she survived. She is the one who told me about the Beacon of Hope. She survived, Layla writes as her face suddenly lights up with joy. Yeah, I say, I met Kate here at the tournament and I'm currently traveling with her. Would you like to see her? The joyful expression on Layla's face slowly gets replaced with one of sadness. I don't think she'd want to see me. Layla writes, I was being kept in a separate cell from the others at the orphanage. We never got to talk much. Besides, I don't think that she'd want to meet a Lasethi like me. After all, she's been through at the hands of a Lasethi from the orphanage. Hey, you can't know that until you ask her. I say, I'm a Lasethi too and I'm still friends with her, remember? She does not answer. She keeps looking away from me as before. Yeah, this is the same shit. We have read this. I definitely told her then. I definitely remember reading this.